Hello, YouTube. This is my first visual essay that I'm making, and I'm really excited about it. We're going to be talking about Kim Kelly from the show Freaks and Geeks. So, if you haven't seen it, there are going to be spoilers. I talk a lot about the last episode, so if you want to avoid that, maybe watch the show first. I'm really excited to be doing this just because Kim Kelly is probably one of my favorite, most relatable characters I can think of in TV. I tried to find a replica of her jacket to be like her, also Lindsay's jacket. But anyways, I find her so relatable and interesting, and I can find no content out there about her besides maybe one or two blog posts, which I'll link some of them in the description. But I'm just really excited to get into some discourse about her character. I feel like she deserves it. I feel like I deserve someone calling bullshit on this if I'm reading her wrong. And I just want to put my thoughts out there and hopefully open up the conversation. And if you like this and you want to see me do it for other characters, let me know. In this video, I want to talk specifically about Kim Kelly. Kim is one of the most dynamic characters in all of TV, and she subverts all the expectations the audience might place on her. Every character develops in some way throughout the 18 episodes of this series, even side characters like Mr. Fredericks. Kim, though, not only changes, but subverts the mean girl archetype that she is originally depicted as. So, what does it mean to be the mean girl in TV? The Take has a great YouTube video that will explain this trope in far more detail than I will. I'll link that in the description. But to sum it up, I would say the mean girl trope has two major characterizations. One, at the core of her identity is rage, and two, she is bright and receptive, usually as a foil to a dumb jock character. Let's explore how Kim fits into these parts of the mean girl trope, but more importantly, how she subverts them. In the first episode, we have this moment.
Hey.
There, now we're friends.
And in the second episode, we have this moment.
Ow, watch it, Romeo. You're on my hair.
Hey, we're busy here.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, hey, Lindsay.
Don't worry. We threw your teddy bears on the floor.
Clearly, she's rageful, just like the trope suggests. But what is different with Kim? Often with the mean girl character, this rage is directed towards someone for no reason. Think of the character Carrie in Carrie or Andy in Pretty in Pink.
I hate Carrie White.
Who?
Am I having a nightmare?
We got guests.
I know you. You're in my calculus class. Jim. Your name's Jim?
You're worthless, aren't you? Take it easy, Benny, huh?
Hey, this is Steph's party, Blaine. Don't tell me what to do.
Steph?
I mean, you shouldn't be allowed to invite just anybody. Steph, she's gonna ruin my night.
Shut up, Benny. Listen, all right.
The victim of the mean girl is usually different or weird, but they're not really disturbing the social order. In Mean Girls, the Plastics have an entire book dedicated to documenting hatred towards girls that really pose no threat to them. Lindsay, however, does genuinely represent a big threat to Kim. As is revealed in episode 4, Kim Kelly is My Friend, Kim's home life is about as bad as they come.
Kim, did you pick up any soda?
I forgot.
Yeah? Well, I forgot to make you dinner. How do you like that? Come on in.
Her only semblance of a family is her friend group, and this is her only escape from her parents. Her boyfriend, Daniel, is one of the only people that she feels understood by, and Lindsay clearly has a crush on him.
Have you guys seen Daniel?
Kim feels insecure in the relationship and wants badly to hold on to Daniel. In the first scene where we meet Kim, she says to Daniel,
What, are you doing her so that she'll help you with your math homework?
Although brash to say right in front of Lindsay, she does kind of have a point. In episode 6, Tests and Breasts, Daniel completely manipulates Lindsay into cheating on a math test for him by playing up his soft, sensitive side. Daniel clearly likes the attention from Lindsay, and he's not telling her to back off. It's not only Lindsay that Kim is mean to when someone is posing a threat to Kim's relationship. Probably the meanest Kim is to anyone in the show is the character of Karen, who is flirting with Daniel.
I did it. Because you are a slut. Slut.
As the threat starts to vanish and the girls build a bond, the rage towards Lindsay also subsides. It returns periodically, but Kim stops being mean to Lindsay just for being mean's sake. Additionally, mean girl characters are usually so rageful because they are suppressing their anger. This forcing of a person's rage to their shadow side is what leads so many of these mean girls to be mean. They don't have a way to healthily express this rage.
Okay, so what we could do today is a couple exercises to help you express your anger in a healthy way.
Kim does not fit into this. She is constantly expressing her rage.
No, that's my car. Aunt Kathy gave me that car. Oh, yeah? Well, your Aunt Kathy spent $1,000 of my money snorting it up a nose. So as far as I'm concerned, that car is mine. Fine. I'm out of here. Oh, no, let's go. You don't know. No, you are not going anywhere. Give me those cars, Lindsay. Give me those cars. Choose the car. This is my car. My car. My car. My car. Mine. My car. My car. You are dead. You are so dead. You hear me? You are dead. I'm not high. Just don't, just don't lie to me.
I'm not lying.
Don't lie to me.
I'm not lying.
Just don't, just stop lying to me. I know that you slept with her.
I'm not lying. Okay?
So, although Kim is rageful, it's expressed in a way you rarely see the mean girl express this rage. It's on the surface and unapologetic. It may be out of pocket or unhealthy at times, but she isn't holding her cards close to her chest or internalizing the rage and using it to come up with evil plots to tear other people down. Her life just has a lot of pain, and she's angry about it. I want to point out that just because we have an explanation of her behavior, that doesn't mean I'm trying to argue it excuses what she does. But she is a character on a TV show, and she isn't supposed to be perfect. She's just supposed to be interesting and real, which I think she is. The second part to this trope that we are going to talk about how she subverts is that the mean girl is bright and receptive and usually serves as a foil to a dumb jock. Let's look at the character of Regina George. When she wants to lash out and hurt other people, she doesn't simply leak the content from the burn book. She turns this book into the principal so that she cannot be held responsible. She's highly intelligent in the way that she manipulates people, and her rage is coupled with intellect. I would not make that same claim about Kim Kelly.
It's total white middle class hypocrisy.
Right. Yeah, right, exactly.
You want to know what I think about it?
That's lovely, you know?
Kim may be manipulative here and there, but it's not at the core of her character. Even when she tries to be manipulative, she fails. Again, in the episode Kim Kelly is My Friend, which the network originally didn't air, we see Kim suddenly treat Lindsay nicely after tormenting her constantly in all the other interactions we have seen between them.
How's it going? What? I said, how's it going? Fine, I guess.
She asks Lindsay over for dinner, which Lindsay is skeptical of, but ultimately agrees to. As they're walking up to the door, Kim lays on Lindsay the whole purpose of this dinner is to trick her mom.
By the way, I spend the night at your house every Friday night. And last weekend, we went up to your vacation house in Benton Harbor and went water skiing.
Wait, what?
Now, a person better at manipulation would have probably planted the seed hours, if not days in advance, and given Lindsay all the proper information so that Kim and Lindsay could swindle her mom. But clearly this is not what Kim does. Her foolishness is what leads to a lot of the bad situations in her life. Another interesting part about Kim's character is that usually in high school movies, the smart mean girl is attached to a dumb jock character. The jock usually serves as a crony or side piece and helps to further the mean girl schemes. Kim and Daniel's relationship is certainly not healthy, but neither one of them is using each other to maintain an image or further their selfish ends. There's genuine attraction and romance between Kim and Daniel. Daniel is far better at manipulating people than Kim is, and we see him completely manipulating Lindsay into not only cheating on a test for him, but lying about cheating on a test for him. He gives the same sappy speech with fake tears over and over to try and make people feel sympathetic for him.
She was just trying to help me. Nobody else ever does. And what do you think? I want to be terrible at school? You think I like it? I wish I was smart. I wish it all came easy to me, but it doesn't. When I was in 6th grade, they told us when we got to junior high, we'd be either in track 1, track 2, or track 3. Track 1's the smart kids, track 2's the normal kids, track 3's the dumb kids. And what do you think I got?
The way he manipulates not only Lindsay, but her parents and their teachers here far exceeds any tactic that Daniel ever uses on Kim. In the last episode, we see Daniel trying to get Kim to feel sorry for him for having to serve a punishment he got that was completely self-inflicted.
Nobody asked you to pull the fire alarm.
Oh, what was I supposed to do? Flunk the test? I suck at math. I suck at everything.
What do you want me to say, Daniel?
She responds to this by rolling her eyes and calling him on his bullshit. This example brings up another interesting component to Kim. Even with her surface level lack of intelligence, quote unquote, she can see people for what they really are, which shows a different type of intelligence. She has a bullshit detector and she recognizes people's true intentions. Here's an example. Lindsay often runs to her old friends like Millie when she's too embarrassed to open up to the freaks and needs to be real with someone. In episode 8, Girlfriends and Boyfriends, Lindsay thinks Nick is going to try and sleep with her, and the only person she can go to for advice is Millie. Also, in episode 13, Chokin' and Token, she gets too stoned and can't babysit, and Millie's the friend that she can count on to help her through this. In episode 14, Dead Dogs and Gym Teachers, we see Kim totally call out Lindsay when she tries to drive a wedge between the new friendship made between Kim and Millie.
Why? Because she's hanging out with us?
Yeah, well, what's the difference? You're only hanging out with her because you feel guilty.
No, I'm not. She's kind of funny.
Yeah, but you don't know Millie. She's really smart, and she really loves church, and she loves her family a lot.
What, we're scum?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Well, what are you saying, Lindsay?
I just don't think we should interfere with her life.
What are you so worried about anyways? That Millie's gonna start hanging out with us and then you're not gonna have anyone to run to when you get scared of your bad friends?
Kim.
And you know what? If you do tell her, I'll kick your ass.
And it's also important to note that Lindsay is not the only person that Kim calls out.
The point is trying not to be a dumbass for once in your life. That's what.
And just a little funny quirk I enjoy about Kim that sort of adds to the realism of her character is that just because she can call others out doesn't mean she can take getting called out.
I'm just trying to be rational.
Are you calling me irrational? Because I'll tear your head off, Daniel. I'll tear it off and I'll throw it over that fence.
Kim, she's like the rawest nerve there is.
So just to summarize what we've said so far, while other mean girls' behavior is explained by the suppressing of their rage, Kim's rage is on the surface. Additionally, other mean girls are usually smart and knowingly deceive others to get what they want. And Kim is not intelligent when it comes to manipulating people. And this isn't to say she's dumb. Daniel is able to manipulate Lindsay, the brain of the group, but he can't seem to have the same effect over Kim because she can see people's intentions clearly. So, although Lindsay is constantly hailed as the smart one, she lacks awareness about the people around her. And Kim is actually much smarter than her in this way. Beyond Kim subverting the mean girl trope that she's originally portrayed in, Her and Lindsay's friendship is also super unique and unlike most female friendships that we see depicted in high school media. Firstly, you would be genuinely shocked how many TV shows with strong female leads do not pass the Bechdel test. For anyone who's not sure of what that is, it measures female representation in media, and the test asks these 3 basic questions. 1, are there 2 female characters? 2, do these 2 female characters have a conversation? And 3, is the conversation about something besides a man? Unfortunately, there's not a database for TV shows that don't pass like there is for movies. But just for an example, I recently rewatched Stranger Things, and it didn't pass the Bechdel test until season 4.
Bullshit,
Bullshit.
okay? No, it's not bullshit, Nancy.
No, you're bullshit.
This is unrealistic, which isn't necessarily a problem for Stranger Things, as the whole show is about a government-created monster being on the loose. But in my opinion, it's bad writing, and it makes it harder for the audience to relate and be invested in the characters. If your female characters are only existing to further their male counterparts, it just takes me out of the world building as an audience member. It's unrealistic and lazy, and it says these women aren't people, they're devices that we are using to further the plot. Kim and Lindsay do not suffer the fate that bad writers often sentence their female leads to. We truly believe as an audience that they have become friends because they bond about things beyond men. Of course, there is boy talk too, but it's not disproportionate to the amount of talk that the boys have about the girls in the show.
Like you're the expert or something? You and Kim fight all the time.
Yeah, check my new strategy. See? She can flap her lips all she wants. I ain't fighting back. Sooner or later, runs out of gas.
That is a brilliant plan. Only took you 2 years to figure that out?
It's like the tortoise and the hare, all right? Little rabbit gets tired. Guess who wins?
Are we still talking about the same thing?
Nick.
Time and time again, we have seen the dynamic of a square befriending a dim-witted wild card, which gets them into a bunch of hijinks. For a lot of shows, this is enough. On the surface, Kim is the exact opposite of protagonist Lindsay Weir. For many shows, particularly comedies, this would be enough characterization for one season anyway. Comedies are no strangers to using stereotypes for laughs, especially among non-starring characters, which Kim Kelly is. A lesser show would have stopped here with her, and probably little of the humor would have been lost. That's true. Lesser shows do stop there. Freaks and Geeks, on the other hand, allows us to get to know Kim. Someone that is categorized as a bad banana and insulted by her peers and even her own parents, ends up changing the smartest girl in school, Lindsay Weir, forever. That's pretty spectacular. Kim is not an idiot, but no one has ever built her up or made her feel special, and because of this, she has somewhat low self-esteem.
Life sucks!
No, it doesn't.
My parents hate me. I don't have any friends. You're like my only friend, Lindsay. You're a total loser.
Lindsay validates her and respects her opinions. She defends her when people try to gossip, even going as far as standing up to her parents when they tell her she's not allowed to hang out with Kim anymore.
I hated the book, all right? I have no idea what it's about, and the writer was clearly on drugs when he wrote it. I mean, it went on and on and on like it was written in a total hurry. If I handed in something like this, there's no way I'd get a good grade on it. I mean, it's boring and it's unorganized, and I only read 30 pages of it anyway.
Well, that was passionate, albeit entirely misinformed. Who dares follow Miss Kelly's lucid analysis? Yes?
I think Kim's right. Kerouac was high on Benzedrine during the 3 weeks he took to write On the Road. The structure of the story isn't strong, and his experiments with prose style are tedious. In fact, Truman Capote said about On the Road, that isn't writing, it's typing.
Kim feels like she is worth something as a result of Lindsay. Lindsay, on the other hand, is the smartest girl in school, but she has no street smarts or worldly knowledge whatsoever. She wants to experience something new and feel alive, and Kim shows her the ropes to the world of boys, drugs, vandalism, and high school.
All right, jackpot! All right, come on, where? Ready? Over there! Oh, wait, where?
Just don't lead him on, okay? Because he's obviously still in love with you.
No, he's not. Nick is the one who broke up with me, remember?
Oh, yeah, Lindsay, like that fooled anybody? Come on. Look, you're just too nice, you know? He's gonna get the wrong idea.
Oh, what am I supposed to be, mean?
No, don't be mean. Just be a bitch. Okay, one thing that helps, point your boobs towards the road. God, come on.
Their relationship is positive, and they respect and encourage each other. After a particularly deep conversation where Kim reveals she will never leave their hometown, Lindsay encourages her to do whatever she wants.
So? Go without him. You don't have to stay here. You know that, Kim.
That's easy for you to say, Lindsay, because you get to leave. I don't.
This inspires the end of the whole series, and we see Lindsay and Kim meeting up with some deadheads ready to follow the Grateful Dead over the summer. Their boyfriends are not with them, and their genuine happiness and friendship is tear-jerking. I've never watched the finale without crying.
Ripple in still water, when there is no pebble tossed, nor wind to blow, reach out your hand.
To me, Freaks and Geeks is the greatest piece of media that exists about the trials and tribulations of growing up. Full stop. The network was constantly fighting with creator Paul Feig and executive producer Judd Apatow because they thought the kids should have more victories, but their aim in making this show was to make it realistic because they felt like all the shows they were seeing about high school were a fantasy, and they wanted to create something real.
Our victories. Which was their way of saying that the show was sad. But it was built into the DNA of the show that it was about failing and how you survive failure, and it was about how your friends support you in difficult times. So it didn't really make sense to us to have everything go great.
I honestly think the reason that Kim Kelly subverts this mean girl trope is because the writers did not have tropes in mind when they were writing this show. The prettiest girl on the cheerleading team is nice to everyone and treats them all equally. The sarcastic stoner falls in love with a girl in band. And Kim Kelly, the burnout that came from a broken home, ends up becoming best friends with the smartest girl in school. They were writing in real people, real experiences, real feelings, and not sugarcoating it. Kim is not the best person, but she's real, she's relatable, and victory exists in the fact that no matter what happens to her, she survives because she has her peer group alongside with her no matter what happens. If you've never seen Freaks and Geeks, you really should watch it.